guys, welcome back to my channel. So this week I have a video more on the nutrition side of things rather than working out, and I'm gonna show you how to make a salad that doesn't suck. So I know it's really hot because we're getting to the middle of summer and a lot of people don't want to really turn on your oven as much or your stove. So a salad I think is a great way to get in a lot of nutrition without having to really heat up the place. But I think salads have a connotation of one, not being that filling, two, not being that satisfying. So I want to show you guys how to make it those things, make it satisfying, make it filling, make it high protein. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing is gonna be the base of your salad, which is, for me, the greens. You could also make a chopped salad, which for that one, you're just gonna do a bunch of chopped vegetables like peppers, onions, green onions, herbs, just all that type of stuff. I really like to do a base of greens in my salads just to get a little extra micronutrients in and also to like kind of bulk up the salad without having to use all of my vegetables. So I feel like a lot of people kind of approach salad making differently than they approach any other recipe. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong. So when I make a salad, every single ingredient that I'm putting in, I'm thinking, is this gonna complement the other ingredients that are in here? So if I want my salad to be kind of herbaceous, I might add like some parsley as one of my ingredients in the greens. Or if I want the base to just kind of be kind of simple, that way the toppings and the other veggies that I'm gonna put in it are gonna have most of the flavor, then I might do something like romaine or even iceberg lettuce. Like I know iceberg lettuce gets a really bad rap, but if that's just the base of your salad and hey, you really like iceberg lettuce and it gets you to eat other veggies, then do it. So yeah, for this salad specifically, I really want a like kind of peppery, flavorful green base. So I'm gonna use arugula. And arugula I really love, but it does have a very strong flavor. So I'm gonna do half arugula, half romaine, because romaine is a really nice, just neutral base that kind of doesn't take over, and you can add more flavor with the rest of the things going in the salad that can add more depth to the flavor that you're creating. First step is gonna be chopping up equal parts romaine, equal parts arugula, and then I'm gonna also throw in some parsley just for that kind of herbaceous bitterness that it gives it. Also, if you wanna be making salads a lot and just cutting vegetables in general a lot, get a good cutting board, and also make sure you're not using the same cutting board for meat that you're using for vegetables, and especially raw vegetables, because that's just asking for cross-contamination. All these marks that happen in a cutting board, it's really not great to be using that on raw meat and then raw vegetables. Okay, now that I got all those greens done and nice and chopped up, ready to kind of create a canvas for the rest of my salad, I'm gonna chop up all the rest of my kind of like filler veggies. So I kind of go about this part just kind of emptying out what is in my fridge as far as produce that needs to be used up. Now I still use that first principle that I talked about in the first step of actually thinking about what flavors are gonna go well together rather than just being like, this is a vegetable, put it in my salad. But I do like to have a lot of variety, and another thing that is really important in this step is to chop everything uniformly. So if you just have some random chunks in your salad, when you take a bite, you're gonna get like mostly cucumber if you have like big chunks of cucumber in there, or you might get like mostly tomato. You want really small and uniform pieces. That way all these flavors can be evenly coated in whatever you dress your salad with, as well as giving you the ability to kind of get a little bit of everything every time you take a bite. So the vegetables of choice for me are my half-used cucumber, little heirloom tomatoes. These are already small, but I even go as far as to cut these into quarters. Another mini vegetable, mini peppers. I will probably use like 1 to 2 of these. Red onion, this is already like peeled because I used this earlier in the week, but red onion is my go-to onion to use in salads just because it has a very sharp flavor that I think also lends itself to pairing really well with almost every dressing that I've tried. And also green onion because I love onion, and again, this is something that goes bad pretty quickly, so I do want to make sure I'm using it throughout the week, so putting it in a salad is the perfect way to use it. This is also where I would add any fruit I wanted to add into the salad. I'm not a huge fruit on salad salad person, but I do think it can sometimes belong, but I just don't have anything on hand that I think would pair well with this salad, so I'm not gonna add any. Okay, this next part is the game changer. This is what makes a salad actually a meal, or even just like a proper part of a meal that's actually gonna be satisfying both in flavor and in nutrition. So this is where I add in all these little mix-ins that are gonna make it more filling as well as more nourishing. So far all we have is like veggies or fruit if you decided to add fruit, and now we need to add a little bit more density to it. So feta is one of my favorite things to add on to salad. I love the flavor of it, and I really think it pairs with like pretty much every single salad and adds this like really creamy tart element that I love. But if you're not into feta, you could do like cheddar cheese. You could also do burrata if you're going for like a balsamic type of salad. So feta for sure, or some type of cheese if you're into that. Beans. I love putting beans into salad. Today I have garbanzo beans or chickpeas. I think it makes it way more filling, adds a little bit more fiber, adds a little bit more protein, and also just gives some differentiating texture in your salad. You don't have to use chickpeas, you could also use black beans, you could also do some sort of other grain or legume. Lentils and brown rice or white rice are two that come to mind. Or quinoa if you're into quinoa. I'm not really into quinoa, but I know it's like good for you, so go for it. Pickled red onions. I made these this week and they add some, this is like the third onion product I'm putting in here, but I promise this one like really adds a different flavor than the other two because these are pickled obviously. So one, you're gonna get some prebiotic for your gut from the pickling process, also some acidity that can complement the dressing that you're having. If you're gonna add anything pickled, really take into account how you're gonna dress this. I'm gonna do a vinegar-based dressing, so this is definitely gonna go with it, but if I was doing like ranch or something, I might omit this. And I'm actually not gonna put these in my salad today, but I just wanted to give it to you as an example. Hemp hearts are another great way to add some more protein and filling fats to your salad, so this is definitely an option. Steer clear of other seeds like chia seeds, just because they will definitely start to gel in your salad and not be pleasant, but hemp seeds are a good idea. This is 1000% one of my favorite things to put into a salad. I'll put it into pretty much every single salad I make just because it adds this really nice creamy element and a very just like neutral base for a lot of flavor to help stick to all the veggies, because as you mix the salad, the avocado kind of gets more and more broken down and almost dresses the salad for you. This is also the point in the salad where I would add, if I wanted to make this like a salad meal, then I would add some sort of meat like chicken or turkey sausage or something like that, or just a little bit extra legumes or some sort of tofu if you wanted like a veggie option. And I would also add more of something carby, like say like the rice that I talked about, or more beans, something like that, to really round out the meal to make it not just greens. Because if you're making this a meal, and I think that's where a lot of people go wrong, they'll have way too many greens and not enough sustenance, and that's why people think salads aren't filling, because you're making them wrong. So if this is gonna be a meal, add some more carbs, add some more protein. If this is gonna be a side salad, just the beans is good, just the avocado is good, but yeah, really kind of tweak this based on what it's gonna be for you. For me, this is gonna be a side salad for me and Jordan's dinner, so I'm not gonna add any other protein. Just a little bit of chickpeas is gonna be good for me. All right, now that our big, beautiful salad is done, the last element we're gonna need is a good dressing. So you could go one of two ways with this. You could either get a store-bought dressing that you just really love, maybe has good ingredients that you trust, or you could just make your own. It's gonna be cheaper and you can always modify it based on what you're feeling that day. I usually like to do a little bit of both. This Green Goddess dressing from Trader Joe's has great ingredients, all ingredients that I understand, all ingredients that I would usually use in my own cooking, so I really like it. but I do also like to kind of mix this up a little bit. So a lot of times if I have this on hand, I like to use a little bit of this guy in my dressing, as well as make a little mix of my own dressing. And I'll show you what I usually put in there. So I'm gonna mix in a little bit of raw apple cider vinegar. We get this from Costco, but you could also use Bragg's, whatever you have on hand. If you don't like apple cider vinegar, you could also use balsamic vinegar, red wine vinegar, white vinegar even, rice wine vinegar. These are all gonna give them slightly different flavors, but it's gonna accomplish that same tangy element. You could also use lemon juice if you're not into like the vinegar flavor. Salt, of course, we have a ton of it because we buy it in bulk, but salt. Nutritional yeast is a thing that I really love adding to salads. Gives it a little bit more of that cheesy element and also just like some umami flavor that I think is really yummy. Black pepper and granulated garlic. You could also use freshly minced garlic, but I like this because it doesn't have as much bite. Some sort of oil. Our go-to is avocado oil, but you could use whatever. Crushed red pepper flakes because I like things to be a little spicy. And you could also use some honey in this dressing. I'm not going to use it today, but sometimes I do like to add it, especially if I'm doing some sort of balsamic thing, because I think the sweetness can really help cut the acidity and make everything more balanced. And there we go, she's all done. I've got that dressing that I made and the salad. I'm not gonna dress it yet just because this is me and Jordan's dinner salad, so I went ahead and made it ahead of time. But yeah, that is how to make a salad that is both satisfying in flavor as well as nutritionally. Definitely feel free to play around with it and really experiment with flavors. You could also add some more nuts, something like walnuts or sunflower seeds, and those are all gonna help add different textures and different flavors. Experiment with the salad just like you're experimenting with any other recipe, and really take your time to kind of find out what sounds good together and what works. I hope this was helpful. If it was, go ahead and like this video and subscribe so you can see more from me. I will see you guys next week. Bye.